Our problem is contains duplicate. Let us understand the question first. Given an integer array nums, return true if any value appears at least twice in the array, and return false if every element is distinct. So in this question, we have given an array, and even if one element is repeated, we have to return true. As we can see in example 1, 1 is repeated, so we will return true. In example 2, we can see every element is distinct, every element is unique. So if all elements are unique in the array, we will return false. Okay, so what approaches we can use? First, we will use brute force approach to build the intuition behind the question. So what was our array? We have 1, 2, 3, 1. In brute force approach, we can use two for loops, one outer loop and one inner loop. Outer loop will start from I is equals to 0 and inner loop will start from j is equals to I plus 1, so that it compares next element of the array to the previous element of the outer index. It will start from one outer loop, and then inner loop will take 2 in the first iteration, 3, and then in third iteration 1. It will see if both elements are equal at 0 index, at third index. So it will return true in this case. But let us use another example. 1, 2, 3, 4. So in this array, our first outer loop will be at index 0, and our inner loop will check 2, 3, and 4, and it will compare every element with one value, and because they are not equal, so inner loop will be completed and it will jump to outer loop. Now outer loop increases from I index 0 to I index 1, and our inner loop will be at I index 2 because it's I plus 1. I is 1, so j will be 2, and it will again run at 2 and 3 also because they are not equal. So again inner loop will jump to outer loop, and both of these elements are iterated, so outer loop will be at index 2 now. So after after at index 2, inner loop will again I plus 1, so it will be at 4 value, and it will compare 3 with 4. Both of values are not equal, so our inner loop will be terminated and it will jump to outer loop. But our outer loop will be run till length of nums -1, because we are comparing each in inner loop next element, so our loop will stop here and it will return false because it is found any element that is equal to that each element. So every element is distinct in this array. That means this array is distinct. So let us first use this approach. So in brute force approach, what we are doing is we are simply iterating through the array, and it is n minus 1 because we are comparing next element of the array with an inner loop. So for j in range, and we are starting from I plus 1 and length of nums, and we will compare if nums of I is equals to nums of j, then we will return true, otherwise we will return false. So let's run this code. So we can see all our test cases has been passed. But there's one little problem here. The big of time complexity for this code is n by n. N square is the time complexity for this code. So how we can write more efficient code that takes less time to process to run this code? So there's one more approach which we can use. That approach names either using dictionary or set. So first I'm going to write the code for dictionary. I'm going to declare this dictionary, and then what we have to do, we have to run length of nums, and we will see if that element exists in dictionary or not. If nums of I in dictionary, if that element exists, that means that element is repeated in the array. So we will return true in that case. Otherwise, if that element doesn't exist, then we have to add that element in our array, in our dictionary, with count 1. Otherwise, we will return false if that's not the case. So I'm going to comment this code out. So all our test cases has been accepted. Let me submit the code. So our code has been accepted. So we have used brute force approach and dictionary approach, or we also can use set approach here, but you should try at your end. Thank you for watching.